They'll be calling you a radical. The vision is 2020. So, the decade, the teabagger Congress decade, the insane fucking fake, calling fake, up is down, black is white, wrong is right decade is fucking coming to an end. What a freak show decade. Remember, Barack, Barry Antoinette Obama let them eat fucking yellow cake to Donald Trump eating his delicious piece of chocolate fucking cake. The decade from hell, the Fukushima years, the cover-up I wrote in my book, Post-Ignorance. I wrote in my book. The extinction of the tuna year decade, the extinction of the tide pools decade, the extinction of the ecology, the wipeout of the fucking insects, the killing of the fucking mule deer, the fucking wipeout of the bald eagles, the murres, the shorebirds, the extinction decade, the great Pacific genocide decade, the teabagger Congress, 20 fucking Koch brothers on coke, on fucking chemo, fucking take your dogma right to your death, die of cancer, fucking obey, consume, listen to fake oligarchs, fake calling fake, fucking the extinction decade. I wrote my book on 10-10-10. Either we pivot now or Earth swallows us whole. Oh, it fucking swallowed us whole. No respect for any life whatsoever decade. This fucking Gallagher stabbing this 50th perfect capitulation of the disrespect fucking the United States has for all living things. All life. The fucking extinction of the tide pools. The fucking collapse of the fucking Upper California sea urchins. The fucking collapse of the starving fucking whales. The fucking sea lions, the fucking seals, the fucking plankton, the krill, the anchovies, the tiny fish in the sea, the fucking humanity, fucking the decade, the disrespect of fucking, the consumption in the United States doubled this fucking decade. And that's saying a lot. Consuming over 45% of the world's product now, make up less than 3%. Obey the debt fucking decade, the decade of debt, really out of control fucking debt. At the student level, at the fucking personal fucking level, at the national level, the self-righteous fucking decade, the teabaggers. Just remember this, 2010 to 2012, the decade of the teabaggers. What'd they do? Try to kill Bert and Ernie. Remember, never forget this. 2011, the Barack Obama Fukushima, the fucking in blackface only fucking liar Obama decade. Scumbag fucking Trump, the handoff. Fucking the decade of the Japanese fucking imperialist back. The decade of Putin fucking reigns his fucking power. The decade of imperialism fucking rears its ugly fucking, where's your fucking crown? The last thing the Teabagger Congress of 2010 to 2018 did, they couldn't pass anything of any logic, of any reason, of any rhyme, of any fucking personal sexuality, of any personal integrity, of any contemporized fucking, the decade of the me, fuck the we, fuck the ecology, it's me, the decade of me, fucking obey, consume, die young and love it, the decade of the American manufactured Jesus with an AK-40, blonde hair, blue eye, the decade of the fucking kill thy neighbor, fucking bomb the Middle East, wipe out, the decade of colonialization of fucking Afghanistan. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. We're still there. He's all gone. 2 decades. Fucking went off to Iraq to get them all those sides. The decade of inventing ISIS. How nice this. Boogeyman, the military industrialized complex. Fucking freak show militarism decade. The ignorance decade. We pivot now or it swallows it whole. Us whole. Oh, it swallowed us whole. The Fukushima years. The cover-up. The death of the Pacific Ocean. The fucking decade of YouTube fucking being captured, being lied. The decade of government fucking agencies hiring fucking paid PR trolls. The decade that our own government allowed people to slander fucking Kevin Blanch while he's full of AML leukemia. The decade of the greatest Ph.D. in human history, Fuktonium. The decade that gave us Fuktonium. The decade that gave us the fucking meltdowns. The decade that gave us the fucking lies of fucking bleeding Democrat, Republican together to corporate militaries. Whoredom. Let them eat yellow cake to, Trump eating his delicious piece of cake. The decade of fucking Putin stealing a fucking United States election, just like the previous decade. The decade started. What a fucking decade, 2010. You know, killing Gandhi. No. Remember I used to say, I'm going to go have a cup of coffee with Gaddafi. You know, I really did have a cup of coffee with Gaddafi this year in fucking Idaho at a Starbucks. And I'm not kidding. You cannot make it up. I'm up there protesting INL. Winston's girlfriend was with me. Winston's girlfriend goes up and starts talking to this girl. And next thing you know, she's got her apron off right over there. She's hugging me, taking pictures with me. Come on. I'm his niece. Through the government program, we had to flee. We fled Egypt. The United States slaughtered the fucking place. We had to flee to Idaho, getting down with Ezra Pound. Yeah. I had a cup of coffee. Her last name, Gaddafi. Meanwhile, fucking Barack Obama's covering up Fukushima. The last teabagger fucking Congress fucking act they signed to kill sea lions because they eat salmon. The decade of the starving well. The decade of denial. The decade of apathy. The decade of me, make it up. The decade of call black is white, up is down, wrong is right. The decade that Barack Obama fooled the world. I'm the champion of the entrepreneur. I'm black. The polygamist father from Kenya. Barack Obama, whitey from Kansas. Mother named Stanley. The decade that saw Barack Obama feed the narrative to Operation Foxconn News. Birther issue. The decade of Foxconn News run out of the House of Windsor, fucking wrap themselves up in a fake patriotic fucking flag. Benghazi, Hillary's emails. Hillary's emails were all the cover up. Gotta go see Kissinger. The decade that Kissinger lived to be 148, still slaughtering the earth. The military industrialized complex goals turns the United States into fucking Rome without the sex, without the fucking art, without the culture. Fucking where's your fiddle? Where's your fishing pole? This Kevin Blanch will have to fiddle at some point. The decade that gave us Fruitonium. That's all you gotta say. The Fruitonium decade. My decade personally, for me, who I consider myself we, part of the ecology, the decade that I fought for the sea, that I fought for you, me, we, all humanity, all life, all the ecology. The decade I was given 2 months to fucking live. 2011. When a doctor looks you right in the fucking eyes, says you'll be dead by Christmas, less than 2 months away. Next doctor. The decade I spent a lot of my life in a bone marrow transplant center. The decade I walked the coast, freezing to death, fucking shivering with platelet counts of 38 with a central line hanging out of my fucking jugular vein. The decade of cancer. The decade I fucking my heart breaks watching the ecology collapse, and no one gave a fuck. My vision is 2020. The vision is 2020. Chemo burned a pigment out of my eyes, destroyed me. I have scarring up and down my fucking legs. My chest split open. Scar down there. My tattoos from the radiation. My fucking Fukushima fucking bullet hole from the central line. Scars across my body. Sleeping on a sleeping bag on the ocean. Spirituality. What a fucking decade. My eyes came back, my vision came back stronger than even before cancer. I have the eyesight of a 20-year-old. I didn't then. My body fighting back. The decade of fucking surviving. The decade of trying to fucking physically survive against a tsunami of fucking apathy, ignorance, selfish, fucking proud of their fucking arrogance, fucking pricks. Attacking. The decade that cops like to fucking shoot first and kill fucking now fucking judge, jury, executioner. The decade of the Million Mass March. What a fucking gig. The decade of anonymous, the decade they hung Aaron Swartz, the decade they killed Michael Hastings, the decade they locked up an 85-year-old nun, fucking Megan Rice, for a peace activist, turned down the temperature and tried to kill an 85 Barack, Barry Antoinette Obama, the decade when he told you he fucking drove more people than Bush, he fucking killed more whistleblowers, the decade that attacked whistleblowers, the decade of Julian Assange, who's fucking going mentally fucking crazy, who's fucking, they circled into a fucking backdoor murder of the United States government for telling the truth. You ever think that it'd be so difficult to tell the fucking truth as I stood in front of the White House? To tell the truth is to die. To rob and loot fucking billions from the United States Treasury is to be an oligarch god. And the sheep fucking love him, for we are not sheep. The decade Kevin Blanch turned over 100 fucking interviews and told him to fuck off. The decade of CNN, Fox News, fucking MSNBC, local fucking communities, KSL from hell, fucking kill thy neighbor, hate thy neighbor, covet thy neighbor, Walmart shit. The false fucking prophets reign. Fuck where the Fuctonium fucking reigns. The decade of purple fucking rain all over. Fucking nude descending down staircase, dead fucking purple nude found in elevator. As a prince dies, a baby cries. The decade of Barack Obama held King George their back on the Queen's 90th birthday. As the prince in Minnesota fucking dies, found nude, murdered. No fucking charges. Fucking the decade of Trump and his useful idiots, as he calls them. Lock her up with Flynn, Manafort. The decade of the nuclear energy cartel. Fucking PR firm shows their ugly fucking face and poisons the planet. 11/11. Fucking 3/11/11. The fucking decade of Fuctonium. The decade they fucking slaughtered the fucking Pacific Ocean. They slaughtered the Great Pacific Giant. Fucking crushed our ecology. The decade of cancer. The decade of fucking apathy. Apathy. People fucking, yeah, I'm going to see American manufactured Jesus. 50 million Joe old fucking see. The decade that Gallagher stabs a 15-year-old teenager to fucking death. And he's fucking reinstated in the White House. Fucking having dinner. This is your fucking decade. What a way to fucking capitulate it. What a sick, 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 fucking mentally ill disturbed. The fucking opiate decade. The suicide decade. The fucking repression of the fucking youth decade. The self-righteous phony fuckers from hell decade. Not me. Not me. I stand against a fucking tsunami of apathy, of ignorance, of fucking hate. Of selfish, self-righteous fucks. For the vision is 2020. Fucking this decade is going to be, redemption, mitigation, justice. I know who you are, and I saw what the fuck you did. The nuclear energy crime syndicate, you're going to fucking pay. The decade that will kill all of you and send you to hell, and that will be fucking the angels that watch over me that you murdered. This will be the decade of all these beautiful young people that have fucking been murdered by the nuclear energy, the Roundup Monsanto, the fucking political theater fucking rats. They'll be sent to fucking hell by the angels above. The fucking decade of vengeance, of victory, the decade of karma. Stand tuned.